Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a Cho'gath game for you guys, and in this game I didn't really expect him to be able to solo carry like he did, but he ended up just taking over the game. Like, his damage was unmatched by everyone else on the team, and I wasn't expecting that because he is only a 3 cost, and with him being a Colossus, I was only able to have like 5 or 6 units, I think 5 units on my board at the end of the game with Cho'gath. So yeah, I didn't really expect to be like first. The other units I had on the board were mostly 1 stars for most of the game, so I really didn't prioritize them. They weren't important at all for the comp, besides giving Cho'gath his traits. But other than that, they basically did nothing. So yeah, Cho'gath can pretty much 1v9 if you build these items on him. In this game, I just built him full tank, and he just did an insane amount of damage that I was not expecting at all, considering he was full tank. Anyway, let's get into the game. So I did get a free Cho'gath from the loot orb during the first a few mini rounds, but I was hesitant to put him in since he does take up multiple slots on the team. But yeah, I did it anyway. It probably wasn't a good idea. He's not that great early, I feel like. Especially when he's 1 star, I don't think he's really worth taking up slots from 2 units. Yeah, early game that did cost me some HP. So in the beginning, I was trying to play Malzahar. I've played him before, 3 stars, but I didn't really have the best items on him, so I was planning on playing Malzahar, and so on the carousel I was grabbing items that I thought would be good on Malz, like trying to get a blue buff and Gunblade, and then I realized that Malzahar wasn't really doing a lot compared to Cho'gath. He just ended up being an ambulance. So yeah, I guess he was good for that because I think the new Gunblade, it heals your ally as well. And so he just kept giving Cho'gath more heals, and Cho'gath was doing all the work. If you end up playing this comp, you should definitely try to itemize for Cho'gath and Kai'Sa. Malzahar in this comp is just there to hold Kai'Sa's items until late game. You're going to want to replace him with Kai'Sa as soon as you find her. And Kai'Sa benefits from AP and mana just like Malzahar, so he's a really good item holder, and he'll be able to help you stabilize during the early and mid game. But late game, his damage is almost nothing compared to Cho'gath. I was trying to 3-star him in this game, and I ended up wasting gold on Malzahar and other resources that I shouldn't have. So yeah, what you want to do is try to push level 7, level 8, roll for your Cho'gath 3. Probably rolling at 7 is best, honestly, for Cho'gath, and then try to find a Kai'Sa there. If you find her at level 7, then great. Replace Malzahar right away. But honestly, finding Kai'Sa is like whatever. She is also just gonna be like another trait bot in this comp. What you need to focus on is hitting Cho'gath 3, and that's gonna basically stabilize you. If for some reason you're still like losing rounds with Cho 3, then you need to push 8 and try to find Kai'Sa, because she's gonna be your secondary carry. If you really want to, and you found a lot of copies of Malzahar, then you can go for Malzahar 3 in this comp. I only recommend doing that if you have like a blue buff and Gunblade, because he provides a lot of healing to Cho'gath actually. he doesn't do much damage, but he casts very often, and so he heals his allies a lot. So he ends up keeping Cho'gath alive for a really long time. Even if you get Malzahar 3, I don't think that the healing is very necessary for Cho'gath. In the end, he just survives everything anyway, and he doesn't really need the healing because in this comp, I played him with 3 Socialite, which means he heals 30% of the damage he deals, so he doesn't really need even more healing from Malzahar 3. Your best bet would be to use that gold and push 9, because then you can fit more units onto your board. Since you're playing Cho'gath, who is a Colossus, and you just need one more Colossus to get the big damage reduction buff from the Colossus trait, you're gonna be down 2 units, so pushing levels is gonna be a lot better than trying to 3-star Malzahar in my opinion, and it also gives you a higher chance of finding Kaisa when you're level 8 or level 9, so it's just my opinion that Malzahar is not worth 3-starring. I realized this a little bit late and ended up selling Malzahar when I already had like 7 copies of him, I think, in this game. But yeah, in the future, I definitely won't be 3-starring him. It's just not worth it. Unless you're playing some kind of Arcanist comp and building your team around Malzahar, which in this case I wasn't doing. I just was building around Cho'gath. Mostly because when I put in a Socialite, it gave me a Socialite hex that was in the first row, and obviously I'm not gonna put my carry Malzahar in the first row, so when I saw that hex, I decided to play for Cho'gath, and that's who I built my team around. So unless your Socialite hex or whatever is in the back row and you can safely play Malzahar, then I don't recommend you building your team around him or trying to 3-star him at all. Literally what makes this comp so broken is the Socialite buff. When you have 3 Socialite, all the benefits that you get is just, it's so crazy. You can probably make any champion into a carry, but it just all depends on the random position of the hex that the Socialite trait gives you, because if your hex is all the way in the front, then don't even try to play a backline carry because that's stupid. If your hex is in the back, then like shit, make anybody your carry, honestly. Make any backline your carry. If your hex is in the front, try to like 3-star an assassin that you can put in the front row because it's gonna jump anyway, or make a Colossus carry. I've seen like people make Garen into carries, but if your hex is in the back, then you can play an actual carry and make that unit even more broken. I can see Orianna being insanely good with the Socialite buffs because she is very mana hungry. Her mana cost I think is 150 mana, so if she had the Socialite buff, then she could cast a lot more and just deal big AoE damage. But honestly, the Socialite, 3 Socialite makes any champion into a beast. I'm definitely going to be experimenting more over the next few days, just trying out different units in the Socialite hex and seeing which unit would be like the most crazy 1v9 carry for any comp. And honestly, Cho'gath is definitely gonna be at the top of that list because he's insanely tanky because he's a Colossus. He gets extra HP from being a bruiser, and his kit just gives him so much damage, and he prioritizes the lowest HP enemy so he can take out the right units instead of him like attacking units that are not close to dying at all. But most of all, I think he benefited the most from the mana bonus because I played Cho'gath 3 with 8 bruisers and got second, He did damage and he survived a long time because he had so much HP from 8 bruisers, but he still ended up dying. The lifesteal from Socialite is just so good for his kit. Every time he ults, he just gets a ton of HP, and he ults very, very often with the mana bonus as well from the Socialite buff. I almost didn't believe it because I had a game where I played 8 bruisers with Cho'gath 3 and he was dying a lot, but because of him being a Socialite, getting that extra lifesteal and mana, just casting, spamming his ult, he just basically never died. And in many rounds, everybody on the team got killed off because they were like 1 star or whatever, but then Cho'gath was the only man standing, eating his way through their entire team, like 6 or 7 units. This comp is literally brainless to play. All you do is go to level 7, get Cho'gath 3, slow roll for Cho'gath 3 at level 7, and once you get Cho 3, you just spam levels until you're 8 or 9. If you're really healthy, go 9, because the most important part after getting Cho'gath 3 is hitting Galio, because Galio will give you the 3rd Socialite buff, which makes Cho'gath unstoppable, and once you have that, it's pretty much GG. That's basically it. So yeah, I just showed you how to play this very simple comp that's gonna have like 5 units on your board at the end of the game. It's literally so easy. I'm just gonna fast forward to the timestamp when I hit Cho'gath 3 now, so we can just see this ginormous cockroach stomp on every single team in the lobby. So yeah. Okay, so now that we've hit Cho'gath 3, we can just put gold into levels. But at this point, I thought I could hit Malzahar 3 as well and play him since I have good items on him. And yeah, this was when I hadn't realized yet that Malzahar is just a non-factor pretty much in the comp. It's nothing but a trade bot, and it wasn't worth spending gold to try to 3-star him. So I'm gonna hang on to him for a few rounds, but later on I'm gonna fast forward to the part where I pretty much sell him and try to rush levels. Okay, so this round I found Kaisa and I put these AD items on her. These are good items for a unit that does AD damage, but I was not reading and didn't know that she in fact does magic damage. So yeah, don't do what I did. What I should have done was transfer Malzahar's items over to her, but I already put these items on and I didn't really have enough gold to be rolling for Kaisa and stuff to reliably hit her, so I just kept these items and I sold the 2-star Malzahar I had on my bench for gold and econ because he really does not matter. Yeah, I just went along with these items on Kaisa and put the rest on Seraphine. Kaisa's 1-star, Seraphine's 1-star, Tarek is 1-star. It doesn't matter at all. The Cho'gath will do all the work. And right now I have Warmog, an Ionic Spark, and a 3rd tank item on him. It doesn't matter what items you have. Ionic Spark is really good because it gives MR penetration, but any other tank item works just as well. Just make him super tanky and he won't die. Mundo is on the board because he gives extra bruiser stats to Cho'gath and he is also a mutant, so he synergizes well. Mundo was 1-star for the previous rounds, and yeah, he was also just a non-factor. As you can see, Cho'gath, once he ults, he just gets so much HP back that he doesn't die, and he's just a solo carry in this comp. Everyone else is there for looks and for traits. That's it. I'm not sure why I didn't pull out the damage charts, but trust me, when I looked at the damage, the rounds that I had skipped over, he was doing like around 20k damage, and everybody else was doing like freaking 100, like less than 500 or something. I don't know, but seriously, like his damage bar was so far out there. Nobody was even close to him at all. He just eats through the enemy 3 stars and takes like negative damage. Basically, you can see this Caitlyn was just like tickling him. In the previous rounds, when the Caitlyn ulted him, it didn't even leave a scratch. And by the way, this is full crit 3-star Caitlyn with like six snipers, I think this guy had. And it didn't even do shit to this Cho'gath. So yeah, you can see how strong this unit is, or how strong the 3 Socialite buff is this set. It's definitely going to be fun testing out different units with the buff and seeing like what they can do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I am streaming, by the way, on Twitch every single day around 4 p.m. Trying to stick to that schedule. But yeah, hope to see you guys there. We're on to the last round now. It's just against a team of 8 Arcanists. And also, Galio's ability is kind of broken. They stay in the air for so long. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.